Alright, today I'm going to make a video about how I lost 20 pounds in 2 months and have kept the weight off of me this entire time. I've been kind of focused on this for a while now, and I haven't put out as much content just because it's kind of hard to manage everything, buying a house, fixing trucks, and the whole diet thing and exercise, trying to be, mentally and physically in shape. So I kind of popped back out with content recently, and um, I've been answering questions through messages and stuff like that about people who are asking about my diet and such, but I haven't actually took the time to make a video about it. And I get a ton of comments. What is he doing? Is he on Ozempic? Is he on drugs? Whatever crazy thing you guys say. Are you eating? Are you sick? The answer to those questions are no. I simply just wanted to feel better, to feel as athletic as I did growing up. I was a wrestler, I was in the Army. I stopped doing all those things, I'm not as active. So pain starts to set in, especially when age hits you. So I decided to go down this path for that reason. It wasn't because I felt like I was, fat. But now looking back at my old videos, I'm looking at a fat guy in my own perspective, because I never imagined myself to be back at the weight that I was, coming out of high school as a wrestler. So it's kind of crazy, and it's a lot simpler than you would think, which is kind of why I decided to make a longer video about how I did it, because I see all these comments and everybody's kind of just weak-minded. Like, you think you have to, take some drug or do something that's not healthy for you in order to lose weight in a quick amount of time. When you decide that you're going to do this, you pretty much you're making a promise with yourself. It wasn't maybe if I do this I'll get skinnier or I'll feel better. I knew this is what I had to do in order to accomplish that goal. So when I told myself I was going to do it, I wasn't going to lie to myself for a pack of Oreos or a bag of chips. Like, if you're doing that, you'll lie to anybody. So the first thing is, you gotta make the mental decision that this is what I'm gonna do. This world we live in, where we think we are what we are and we can't change, is literally just programming. This whole thing is like a video game. If you wanna change the programming, you gotta change the programmer. You're programming this reality with the state of mind that you're in right now. And if the state of mind you're in is being comfortable and content with how you look or how you feel, then you're just going to look and feel that way, and you may even dwindle. So first thing I do is change your mind, change the programmer. So I don't know the best. I can make a longer video on how to help you do that. The best way for me to explain it to you is just, ask yourself why. Ask yourself why until you can't anymore. When you get to the bottom of it, change it. If I say, why can't I run a mile? Well, because I'm overweight. Why am I overweight? Well, because I overeat. Why do I overeat? Because it's too readily available for me. So what do I need to do? I need to go to the store and buy my groceries. And then we're going to get back to the root, problem that we're trying to solve. And that's why we can't run the mile, or whatever it is. So change the programmer. In my mind, this isn't hard for me because, I was in the Army and things just don't go your way. So I knew what it was like to feel like things aren't going to go my way and just get over it. And so I already knew that was what was about to happen. I wasn't going to be able to go into the store and get the bag of hot fries I want. I wasn't going to be able to drink the drinks I wanted to drink. I wasn't going to be able to go to McDonald's and get anything. Just because you want to do it doesn't mean you have to. And thankfully, that came easy to me because of the Army. I remember my first day in the Army when we were going through reception, and I was in a line to get a pair of boots or whatever, and I was like, and I've always liked my boots to fit good. I mean, that's kind of why I got this thing for boots. Why I kind of perfected which boots I like to wear. Well, I was going through the line, and the lady asked me. She says, "Okay, what size boot do you wear?" I said a 9. She said, "I got a 9.5. Here." She gave me the pair of boots, and I walked off with it, and that was my first taste of shit's not about to go your way. I have to blank that out. But That was my first taste of, things aren't going to go your way here. You're not just, this is not Burger King. So that's how you got to make your life. I mean, if you want the reality that you're trying to curate or manifest, you got to make some sacrifices, and desire can't come above the promise that you make to yourself. If the promise to yourself is I'm going to lose 20 pounds, then once you get to the root of the reasons why, and you fix those, you'll be good to go. And I'm about to give you all the information that I kind of inquired and received in order to get to the point where I'm at. And it takes a lot of discipline. That's all it takes. It doesn't take a drug. It doesn't take Ozempic. It doesn't take starving yourself. You can do this with as much, nutritional value as you want, really, as long as you're, doing the exercise to burn off the calories. But that's aside from the point. I'm just getting to you what I did. So, first thing, obviously, change your mind. If you make yourself a promise, don't lie to yourself. Follow through. My grandfather always said, say what you mean and mean what you say. And so, I do what I mean. I say what I mean what I say, and I do what I mean. And what I want to do. I don't lie to myself. Okay? You got to have purpose behind everything you do. And so, I couldn't lie to myself. There's no way. That's my programming. I made it that way. If I tell myself I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. So, what I told myself, this is the first thing, because I had, high cholesterol in the beginning of this. And so, the first thing I had to do was get rid of saturated fats. So, no more saturated fats. When I walked into a store, and I was really strict in the beginning, but I had this 2 grams of saturated fat per serving thing, just written down in my mind. So if something was over 2 grams of saturated fat per serving, I would put it back. Or maybe if I just wanted a taste of it, I would eat that, 1 serving or less than that 1 serving, and I would throw the bag away, because you can't have more than that, Maybe I would have, I don't know, at the most 3 to 4 grams of saturated fat in a day, to my knowledge. At least that's what I was trying to accomplish. And so you have to get a whole antioxidant, anti-inflammatory diet, basically, to get to where I was. So these saturated fats, they're basically glue for fat. I mean, these are unhealthy fats found in processed meats that we have today, and store-bought meats that aren't grass-fed. So that leads me to the second thing. No more processed meats. So all your beef has to be grass-fed. No more bacon, no more sausage from the store or anything like that. Unless you can get your stuff homemade, you don't need to buy, that crap from the store that's not grass-fed when it's red meat, beef, things like that. Now, bison and elk, venison, obviously you can do venison, you don't have to worry about it. Bison and elk, you're pretty good. You don't have to worry about it. There's healthy fats in those. So the same cut of meat that you're getting from a store-bought beef compared to a store-bought bison is a huge difference. A way to avoid that, like I said, is grass-fed meats. But you also want to avoid fatty beef. If you can't find something that's grass-fed, you definitely don't want to do a ribeye. Anything with fat in it. You don't want to be eating the fat on these steaks that aren't grass-fed, period. You're eating garbage, you're eating glue for fat. So there's that. That's the next best thing. If you're doing red meat, you want to try and get it grass-fed. Third thing, with that, we like to season our steaks with butter. So no just store-bought butters. They have to be grass-fed, butter, gas-fed, ghee, whatever this stuff is. I don't even try that because I don't want to risk it. I know a lot of this stuff, even though it says something, isn't really what it is. So I don't even try the butters in the stores or anything like that. Maybe if I had somebody come by and give me some, I would use it. But what I do, I cook with avocado oil instead. This is a totally different oil than a seed oil that you get in fried foods and stuff like that. We got to get to the fried foods too. You can't do fried foods anymore. All this stuff is cooked in seed oils. And seed oils are just another thing that's just incredibly just glue. It's toxic for you. It's another thing for fat to bind to, and it's creating fat in your body. So avoid that. Um, so I cook with avocado oils. I do that. If I'm on like the stove, like anything high heat, I cook with avocado oil. If I'm like steaming my vegetables and I kind of want like a oily texture or a buttery texture to them, I put on olive oil in that, maybe a little bit of like thyme or something, garlic. I try to season everything with turmeric, black pepper, very anti-inflammatory, antioxidant thing. All these things help burn the unhealthy fats in your body. So not only are we trying to keep unhealthy fats out of our body, we're taking in fats, fatty acids that actually dissolve these fats away and help you burn these fats out of your body quicker. Um, so olive oil, pretty much the only salad dressing I use. I don't buy store-bought dressings anymore. All of this stuff has crap in it, preservatives in it that I don't put in my body. I try to put everything natural in my body. I'm not trying to get to the definitive stuff. I'm just giving you the hard facts right now of what's going to work for you if you're trying to do what I did without some kind of medication. People will think you did drugs in 2 months if you just do this. So olive oil, lemon, I put on salads. I do a lot of kale, a lot of like baby spinach, stuff like that. Lettuce, leafy greens. Do a lot of that stuff. I eat that with we're going to get into what you can eat actually after this. So that, and I do vinegar. So I'll do like apple cider vinegar on a salad mixed with lemon. Is actually not bad. It's not as strong as you would think. I do balsamic vinegar and stuff like that. If I go to the store and I have to get something, I'll do the balsamic vinaigrette, which is probably over my limit for the day, but it's better than anything else out there. So now we get into what we can eat. The meats I eat every day. I kind of like do a treat on the weekend or something with a steak. If I go to a restaurant or something like that, and I know that the steaks are good and they're high quality meats, I'll do that. I like to go somewhere that has a bison or elk steak, or I'll do something like that. But for the most part, when I go out to eat, it's salads, it's chicken, it's if I can find a healthy meat or like sushi or fish, that's it. But I don't eat out much. It's just when I'm going out with like friends or something like that, or like date night. But so skinless, boneless chicken breast, skinless, boneless chicken thighs, salmon, and tuna. I eat a lot of oysters. That's pretty much it. That's what I eat. I like to eat the skin on the salmon. So I eat salmon skin. I try and cook it good. Again, that's healthy fats. You can eat as much of that as you want. And then for my sides, and I'm being honest here, all I really eat steamed vegetables. So broccoli, green beans. Again, I do a lot of kale, carrots. That's really it. Brown rice is my lifesaver. So like for that full filling that I'm craving, like when you're eating food and you want to feel full, brown rice, I do that. I season it with turmeric, black pepper, garlic powder, and a little bit of chicken bouillon seasoning on there. Kind of like like a teaspoon. Do like that might be much. Half a teaspoon. But so I do that in the rice. If I get hungry throughout the day, I'll go back, chicken and rice, salad. That's what I snack on. So I always have food in the house. I'm always trying to cook. No refined carbs. So again, the brown rice is what you want to stick to, and you want to stick to the steamed veggies. Try to stay away from breads. If you have to do bread, obviously whole wheat bread is your best bet. And that's my entire diet. That's what I eat. That's how simple it is. Anti-inflammatory, antioxidant stuff, and no saturated fats. So I'm not doing junk foods. I'm not doing fast foods. I'm not doing none of that. If you really want to make a change, you want to see a difference, you want to feel better, have energy, have your memory back. Obviously, the most important thing too is no more like beers and stuff like that. Stop drinking so much. If I go out for a drink, once you do this, it'll lower your tolerance anyway. You're not gonna want like a whole bunch of alcohol when you go out. You'll be screwed. You'll be tucked over. So I can go out and have a good time off of a glass of wine at 5 and a glass of wine at 9, and I'm good for the night. Feel great. Come home, no hangover. Don't feel like crap. A memory's still there. I know what I did that night. So stay away from the alcohol. Stay away from the carbs. Stay away from the junk food. You can honestly totally get rid of sugar if you really want to help yourself. This diet will really help your gut. Really help any parasites or anything like that. You'll flush any crap out of your body with this diet. But if you keep eating sugar, you're going to keep having gut problems. It's going to keep feeding bad bacteria, bad parasites, whatever's in your gut. You're still going to have gut issues. Every time I have a gut issue flare up, I know I've been eating too much sugar. And what I'll do is go on a fast for about 3 days, and I'll feel better. And I hate doing that because I'm already getting so little calories in my diet that I'll get even skinnier if I go on a 3-day fast, and I have to make sure I'm doing protein and creatine afterward and stuff like that. But try to avoid sugars if you can too. The main thing is stop going to the gas station picking up crap. Stop going to the McDonald's or the Burger King down the road thinking you're going to get a healthier meal because calories are low. It's not. It's all a lie. It's all seed oils. It's all saturated fats. It's all inflammatory stuff that you don't need in your diet. With that being said, the most important thing is mental. You got to reprogram the programmer. If you can't figure out how to do it and you have an issue, just keep asking yourself why you have that issue. If it comes down to your family, if it comes down to your parents, if it comes down to your relationships, if it comes down to insecurities, confidence, whatever it is, get to the bottom of it, fix it, make a promise to yourself, keep it fixed. And that's it. Now I'm going to make the short version of this video, but me thinking about the short version of this video, I just had a lot to say about it, and I hope that covered everything. So y'all keep cowboying on. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments.